Good evening, everyone. It is April 18th, 2025, and today I'm going to talk about a little bit more on organized crime. And it's an interesting video in the fact that we've been talking so much about the fentanyl overdoses and for months now, and that people have been dying from fentanyl overdoses. And then one day I was just watching the CTV news as usual, and then of course they have that little caption that runs across the screen below the news, and a couple of interesting things popped up, and one of them was that apparently Newfoundland and Labrador are having overdose deaths, all right, but it's not from fentanyl. They've had no overdoses from fentanyl. It is apparently overdoses from cocaine, which is what this video is about on the organized crime, that they were picked up for cocaine mostly. They had a few other things that were added in there. And then, of course, I saw another interesting article, too, that came out. And again, it was just that little caption. They didn't have a big story on it at all. And it was another one, just that they got another border seizure of drugs. I think it was 1.7 kilos of cocaine was seized at the border as well. So all of a sudden, cocaine is getting mentioned. So it's like, if we're not having the fentanyl mentioned right now, is what happening, that the cocaine is coming back in play, which is interesting because I haven't seen that since I was really a teenager, because in the 60s it was usually the pot and the hash and the cocaine. You'd hear like the rock bands and the bands and stuff back in those days, they would be dying of cocaine overdoses. That was one of the preferred drugs at that time. And so for me, it's just a very interesting thing, is like all of a sudden, like, what happened to the fentanyl? I'm sure it's still out there and it's still coming in, but it's just showing that there's huge crackdowns from the police. And this video says it's the investigation is far from over. It started over a year ago, and they arrested 3 people then, and this time I think they got, another 5 people arrested as well. And so, and this is from organized crime, so they seem to be preferring maybe the cocaine. I find it just very interesting that all of a sudden cocaine is being more mentioned all the time rather than the fentanyl. And the other interesting thing was, again, on another little caption below the news, there was a little report from our Kingston police that they found drugs in a rosary chicken. Okay, so who's stuffing chickens now with drugs? And it was just kind of a little funny note, because I sort of glanced at it and I had to take a double take and read it twice. And it was like, okay, don't tell me chickens are dying from overdoses, or they're taking drugs now too. And then I read it, and then I realized it was a dead chicken, but it caught my attention. So it was just a kind of a funny thing where it's one of those things sometimes where you read and you have to take a double take to make sure you understand what just was said. So people are sticking drugs in chickens now, and dead chickens? Well, that's a new one. I don't think I'd want that served at the dinner table at all. But I just wanted to bring this to people's attention, that seems to be coming back again, as I'm hearing more about cocaine. And, it'd be the movie stars and the big hotshots back in the old days, right into the 70s. And, of course, I didn't hear so much in the 80s and the 90s because I was very busy raising a family at that point. But it was the street gangs, the stuff that I've talked about, that were coming up for the car thefts and stuff like that, and some of the drugs. But it was just, things really changed, certainly in the 90s, with the youth and the street gangs being recruited. Our youth was being recruited, like I said, with my boys going to school, and they were being harassed by these drug dealers and these people who were stealing cars, and were trying to get them involved as well. So our life is certainly interesting. It's never a dull moment or boring. Like I said, we live in an interesting world. There's good changes being made in the world today too. So I'm not saying all is bad, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done as well to combat the crime. And that's only one thing, and the list is probably far more than your arm long of all the different things that we really need to work on. And as I said, we need to work on it together, and that's the only way we're going to get further ahead. So I'm going to leave it there for everyone today. I just wanted to bring that up. The cocaine seems to be more mentioned than the fentanyl in the last couple of weeks. So I thought I'd just give you a little note on that I was just noticing something that was changing a little bit. So we'll see how that goes, if it's going to be more fentanyl, back again to fentanyl, or back again to cocaine. So we'll see where that goes. And so I'm going to leave it there, everyone, today. So everyone, take care. Have a great day. Watch your surroundings and be safe, and we'll talk again soon. And bye-bye.